What's up, guys? Rome Total War 3v3 31k, obviously. Just gonna get right into it. We've got Greek Cleomenes III, who's taken the Greek city-states. He has 12 Spartans, 6 in each of these little contingents here, and 8 fucking archers. And he's taken all these archers because I am Britannia with these archer vulnerable head hurlers. The only reason you use these guys is to throw really powerful heads. They're more powerful than Pila for some reason. These like heads dip in like amber. And I've taken one guru who will just kind of chant and increase the morale of all of my troops as well as my allies around me. And I've taken 6 barbarian Lolzords with pretty close to full upgrades. On our furthest right is Hamilcar Barca. He's taken 14 Urbans, 6 Praetorian Cav. Pretty standard build, nothing new. On the enemy team, we have Titans Hades. He's come back from the dead, from the underworld. He's crawled right out of there, and now he's playing Rome Total War again. Also taking a nice 14-6 build. Good to see. Hades is back in action. And then we've got Titan Sparky here, who's taken Macedon. He has a smattering of 3 cav, some pikes, and a lot of archers with a mind to shoot my head hurlers. So I'm going to keep those really far back and let Cleo do the archer war first. And then finally we have RV Excelsior, who's really Earth, who's also taken just an absolute fuckload of archers and 6 Praetorian cav with his general in the cavalry, true to Earth. And we've got Sparky here right off the bat. He's going to support Earth with some loose formation pikes. In case there's a cav battle or the chariots try to get in, they cannot flame my chariots and make them go amok because they're just standard chariots. They're not scythe chariots, but if you look closely, they have scythes on the wheel spokes anyway, so go figure. They're technically scythe chariots, but they don't go amok. But their stats are worse than scythe chariots at the same time. So those are the builds. Looks like Earth has 6 archers, and Sparky's got 3, so Cleo's got 8. That means that we're down 1 archer, but it's not a huge deal. It's going to be really hard for 1 archer left alive to shoot all of these 13 head hurlers. They can shoot my general if they want, but it's not a head hurler, so I wouldn't care if they did. And these chariots will be too far away to be affected by the general anyway, but they will cause a fear factor against the enemy, so that should make mass routes a little more doable. So right here, we're just going to get right into the archer war here. It's going to be super boring. Going to try to triple speed it or double speed it, because not much goes on during these preliminary archer war stages. As you can see, I'm spreading my chariots out to get a full protection of Cleo's archers here. Hamilcar's brought a lot of cavalry too, which is nice, so that should help us out a little bit. Sometimes things with chariots can get a little messy. If one gets caught and there's like 6 calves fighting it, it could rout, so if Hamilcar can countercharge, Cav is a little bit more easy to control and a lot more organized, so it helps to have him there. Sparky's going to come in with a loose formation companion, do a really nice little sneaky charge here before my chariot or Hamilcar can come in, which is horrible for us because we need to win the archer war as much as possible. They have 9 archers, and now we're down to 7. This guy is probably going to come back, but that charge depleted it all the way down to like below 30, so it's basically now a useless unit. Hades is going to try to come in with some cav as well, but there's chariots too close by. Hamilcar is moving to 4 of his cav over here, try to deter any more little sneaky companion charges. And there's not much to see here. It's really just a fucking archer war. It's very uneventful and boring. But Cleo has moved up here to the flank. He lost a Spartan. He is trying to chase off some archers to help mitigate the archer disadvantage that we have. So I'm going to start to bring chariots in to help him out. Hamilcar's gone for a full-on cav fight. And versus Earth is a little risky, because Earth, when he takes 6 archers, usually puts all of his extra money into upgrades for the cav. So that's why Hamilcar is losing a little bit. But there are Spartans really close by. They're blocking off these rail pikes. This rail pike's probably going to get killed. And with my chariots here, that is going to cause at least these companions, Earth Guys cav out in time, but these companions are going to rout, and this Royal Pike, which is attacking a Spartan, is also going to start to rout. So we've also got another Royal Pike here with 102 men that's routed. Very well played to Cleo there for having so many Spartans all the way over here on the flank. Now, because there's so many units routing, we don't really give a fuck that there's urbans and cav here. It is basically the start of a mass rout, so we're going to take advantage of that and just keep pushing, keep attacking, make more and more units rout. We might not necessarily make all these urbans rout here, but it makes sense to keep attacking where we can. The urbans aren't going to catch up to where all the units are fleeing. So I'm going to chase down this Royal Pike that had 100 meta in it. It's already got below 50 at the time that I'm finishing my sentence, and right now it's down to like 29, 27. So a full unit of Royal Pikes is now not going to come back, or if it does, it's completely useless. So I'm moving my chariots and my army further to the left flank here. There's no reason to keep them over here. There's no reason to protect these archers. There's no cav here to attack them. All the action's going on over here, and we've successfully did a lot of damage to Earth and Sparky right with that attack. So they're gonna get their armies together here. My archers are gonna shoot these Royal Pikes, and pretty soon I'm just gonna like move them to the flank or move them closer to our armies. There's no reason to keep them all out here. They can't reach anything anyway. And they do still have some archers left, so we want to kill those as soon as we can. So I've still got some chariots here in case they charge my head hurlers or they try to get these Cretans. I'm keeping 3 in the back right here. No reason really without why we need them to come back to our armies now. Just keep them in the back. We are going to look to use their morale effect, if nothing else. We're not going to charge quite yet because there's a full Macedon still alive. Just going to kill some more cav. He's going to come in with a nice little charge here. A little risky move, but if he keeps his cav pretty tight together with 6 of them, I might win with 3 chariots, but they'd probably get kind of depleted, so I wouldn't do that necessarily. However, there are Spartans nearby. If I did decide to attack, maybe Cleo could come quickly enough to help make those cav out, but it's a little bit of a risk that we honestly don't need to take. At this point, we've got the archer advantage, so we are good to go. We just have to wait for Cleo to shoot all of his arrows, deplete these Cretans, then the head hurlers can come in swiftly and pretty much decimate anything that they shoot. The Romans are going to have to go into Testudo. They don't want to peel a war fucking head hurlers. They will lose that battle pretty badly. Because not only do head hurlers have more ammo than the urbans, despite the fact they have low armor, but the urbans would just basically be standing there getting murdered by what's basically even better Pila than what they have. So they'd have to go into Testudo or something, not move, and I'd have to. It would mean that me using my head hurlers on them might be kind of a waste, but it would also mean that I'd have to wait for Macedon to get close by, which they would want to because if the urbans don't use their Pila on the Spartans and are moving because they're in Testudo, they can't flank or move or do anything, so the Spartans can just fight them head on. It would be a little slower because they're in Testudo, but eventually they'll rout those urbans. So pretty much if the urbans want to use their Pila, they have to expose themselves to this head hurler fire, which really hurts them a lot because we've got urbans here that don't have that fear of head hurlers attacking them, and we've got Sparta that can just attack when they go into Testudo. There is Macedon to help, but if they try to help out, again, head hurlers. So, despite Britannia is kind of a weird faction, it is, as long as it doesn't get killed by archers too much, it's actually a very potent faction that changes the game a lot. So I was coming in with my head hurlers, killing Hades. I got pretty decent kills. Some urbans are down to like 58 men. So he's gonna come in and try to counterattack. If he's just kind of close by and not really pushing forward as much, he's just gonna keep taking losses. And if he does push forward, he's gonna get some of my head hurlers, but there's others here that can still throw heads at these units. As you can see, his Earth charged in. He lost a lot of guys here. His cav's down to like the 20s. And with a nice counter charge from Hamilcar, this whole attack on these head hurlers is just going to be a huge failure, and a lot of men lost. Hamilcar is going to try to block these urbans off with his urbans. And I'm just throwing more and more heads. These Macedon units have taken pretty severe casualties, as you can plainly see. Full-on cav bite here between Hamilcar and Hades. I've got one chariot in here in the mix. That chariot alone will decide the cav battle, and it will cause most of Hades' units that he's thrown in here to rout. Cleo's also coming in to support. So that is the end of Hades' cavalry contingent and a bunch of urbans. Over here we've got urbans and Spartans fighting Hades alone. It's pretty bad for Hades. He is doing a really good job pushing over here, though. Hamilcar has kind of been caught sleeping a little bit. And one of my head hurlers was routed. It'll probably come back. I don't think I have fire at will mode on, so anything I'm doing here is just manually clicking. He's right. Yeah, Hades is fighting some. Also, Macedon lost its cav. I missed that shot, but I killed all of his cav. So as you can see here, a bunch of heads getting right into the sides of these urbans. Hamilcar is going to charge, so I don't need to keep shooting him. And 4 urbans are now also gone right off the bat right there. So at this stage, Macedon, as you can see, lost all of its cav, and a few pikes. Hades lost all of his cav. Earth is about to lose all of his cav right here. So they have no cavalry. There's chariots everywhere. I think I've lost 1 or 2. So I've got at least 4 left. And my head hurlers, for the most part, except for a few units, have full ammunition. So basically, without Hades' army anymore, it's now effectively a 2 versus 3. These head hurlers are pretty much good enough to whittle down, say, Macedon, to make it have basically no units left. Earth has no other move but to testudo, basically, which means I'm going to keep my head hurlers back. I don't want them too close because I don't want to get phalanx charged at the same time. And Cleo is now free. Cleo and Hamilcar, for that matter, are now free to just basically maneuver how they'd like around Earth and just kill us testudos very slowly. And Sparky can't really interfere. He wants to stay far away. He does not want to get attacked by these head hurlers, because after an attack with head hurlers and chariots nearby, with Cleo's archers behind, flanking as they are, this army is going to get absolutely demolished. So Cleo with a very, very good attack here, getting right in the sides of those testudos, getting good angles in, pushing through ever so slightly. These head hurlers that are out of ammo, just using them to attack in case some Spartans are sword fighting. They have a little support. These guys look so fucking badass. God damn it. Just getting right in there. Some Spartans and head hurlers working together as teammates. Hamilcar with a little charge here. Little bit not great because there's pikes right there. I'm bringing in some head hurlers to the flank. It was a pretty good charge, honestly. It was worth it. He got a bunch of urbans. Earth is the player's morale has just been shot, so he's just gonna admit defeat. I'm just gonna start lobbing heads. There's nothing really Macedon can do about it except sit there. He's getting attacked by Spartans. There's heads on the side. He is just gonna admit defeat too. And the barbarian Lolzords are gonna kill the enemy as they run away. So it's awesome. So me and Cleo and Hamilcar, I don't know, any one of us could have gotten about 2,000 kills if the enemy didn't admit defeat so early. Poor Hades got 378 kills, that poor guy. He made some very good moves given the circumstances. He was just sort of unfortunate. His attacks weren't very supported by his allies, and he was kind of wiped out just by force of chariots and head hurlers pretty early on. So, well played to Hades. Sorry about the kills. Earth and Sparky didn't get a lot of kills because they sort of admitted early. I don't think they would have anyway, just because if Earth went out of testudo or Sparky was just sitting there defending against Sparta, He would have just gotten murdered by the head hurlers. Basically, what decided the battle was the Archer War, the attack at the beginning, and the fact that everybody lost all their cav before the end game. So that really left the head hurlers open to do whatever the fuck they wanted, kill whoever they wanted. There's no archers, there's no cav. So with the right support, Britannia is excellent faction to take. It's a little risky. You have to be careful with what you're doing. You have to really take care of the chariots, and you have to have good allies. But all those things, all those needs met, Britannia is awesome. Awesome faction to take. Druids got no kills, no surprise. Barbarian Lolzords, one got almost 400 kills, probably from those routing units. Head Hurlers didn't get a lot of kills. One got 110 kills, but it's 110 Urbans and Royal Pikes, so those are extremely valuable kills. Another one got 87, 85. So that's actually incredibly important that they got those kills because Head Hurlers are cheap as fuck, and Urbans and Royal Pikes not so much. So, and if they didn't admit defeat, these kill stats would just be even higher. So, hope you enjoyed the battle. I'll see you next time.